Is it it? Please! No, please don't say this. Don't say this. Come on, finish, please. Please. We did it! I'm no longer the fool!
Yeah.
Hello, listeners, and what a treat we have for you today. A trophy roast of Australian huntress, nurse_feel_good. Now, she was a recent guest on Push to Plat, so today we can take a bit of a deeper look into her profile. Now, I know she wants us to be intimidated. I know she's a proper gamer, but today we're going to find out the truth behind this nurse feel good. Now, just in case you didn't see the episode, let me explain how she got her name, because it's a little bit dirty, listeners. It's a little bit sexy, a little bit, well, you decide. She told us here that the name came about from a naughty nurse's outfit that she got to go to a party, a slutty, dirty, naughty nurse's outfit. Now, I know what you're... Hey, you! What are you doing? Put that thing away. What type of show do you think this is? It's a G-rated channel, sir. My goodness. Look, where were we? Nurse Feelgood and her slutty outfit. Well, that is the name behind this account. So, already I'm getting intrigued, Let's dive in. Now, I love this here. I love when people self-advertise on their profile. I'm not even sure why PlayStation put this little option in, this about me. Some people, they like to get in there with the feel-goods, like the smiles or whatever else, your life matters, all this sort of thing. It's wonderful. But here, this person, this nurse feel-good, she's self-advertising. And look, I don't know about you, but I can't handle this self-advertisement. These people, it's this generation pushing yourself forward. Everybody's special. Everybody's got something to say. I'm going to self-advertise myself on my PSN profile. But anyway, look, that's what's happening here, this self-advertisement, listeners. Now, look, she's advertising. What has she got here? Streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/bipolarbliss. It wasn't too long ago when making home movies in your bedroom, in your boudoir, was considered a bit risque. Popping these videos on the internet and hoping that people would, put their credit cards in to watch you perform. To go through these motions, on all in the privacy and the intimacy of your own home, just watching you and salivating, I suppose. Perhaps in your naughty nurse's outfit. I don't know, but it's wonderful now that this is accepted under the guise of Twitch. It's totally legitimate. It's stand up. I'm on Twitch, man. What are you talking about? But look, I'm not implying that she has an X-rated show. Well, then, she doesn't have a Patreon. No self-advertising here, of course. But it is an interesting prospect, isn't it? How far we've come. But look, that's not what you're here for, listeners. We're here to get into this profile. Now look at this here. This is such an egotistical wank fest of a number, isn't it? 135. Now everybody and their dog, even the man who owns a Nintendo, knows that the level caps out at 100. So what is this pretension? 135. Well, look, I suppose we've got Mr. Sly to thank for that. It's just continuing this evolution of the trophy hunter, continuing the addiction, listeners. Like, yes, I've capped out, but now I'm going to cap out again. I've hit the level cap, and now there's more level cap to come. Level cap. But anyway, I don't know. It's much for me. Look at this, 59% there. So she's on a wriggle on to level 136, and then it'll be 137, then 140, because you can never reach the cap, the level cap, listeners. It doesn't stop. I don't know. I need to take a breath. It never ends. But let's have a look here. Look at this, 33,235 trophies. It's a big number, isn't it? I mean, she'd like us to think they're all skill-based, Metroidvanias and Souls-like games. But, the truth of the matter is there's probably a shitload of Ratalaika on this profile. Sometimes maybe even some Paugi. She's punched out some Paugi. But we're gonna find out. We will find out, because maybe it's legitimate. Although with a number like that, it's not likely, is it? It really isn't. Now, let's have a look here. 961 platinums. Well, look, it's more than 950. I suppose that's all that I can say about that. It is surprising for someone who considers themselves a god, a trophy streaming god of Twitch, to have such a small platinum count. As I said before when we did this, months ago, I said, I'm not sure what the accounts start at these days. Maybe a couple of hundred plats or something, but, 961, I don't know. I don't know. We're going to come back to that number, I think, because I want to see the breakdown here. 5,825 gold. Fine. Well, congratulations. 8,664 silver. And then 17,785. So once again, there are more bronze than silver than gold than platinums. Hopefully all these numbers add up to a total, but again, that is Sly's problem, not mine. But look, I want to see something different here, Nurse. Show me something pop. Show me more gold than bronze. Show me more silver than platinums. I want to see, hang on a second. Show me more platinums than silver, I should say there. Hang on there. Indeed, sir. Show me something I haven't seen. Don't whinge to me about the trophy system being broken. Show me something. Oh, I'd love to see that. But look, as I said, these are all massively big numbers, So at this time, I should give you a virtual clap, a virtual pat on the back. You've invested your time well here in acquiring these 33,235 visual, digital nothings. But it's a great effort. But you're falling short, aren't you? That's the irony of this profile. Before we even get into it, I feel the weight that you're carrying with such a small plat count. I know that you've put this challenge out, listeners. This is this crazy challenge. But people with small plat counts, they like to build themselves up with these crazy challenges, only to forget about them in a week or two's time when it just gets too much. But the challenge is 1,500 plats by the end of the year. I mean, look, it's already June. Look, I know in Melbourne that, the intellect is sometimes a little bit slow, but, that's halfway through the year, basically. 6.5 months to go. You can almost count that on one hand. It's possible, listeners, that by the time we do get to August and she can count this on one hand, she'll realise how little time she has, and then the bet will be pushed, to a more reasonable length. But at the moment, 1,500. That's big. There's no way you're counting that on one hand, Nurse. I don't know. Going to be a tough one for you down there. It's interesting, Victoria. What is going on with Victoria and PlayStation? It's like there's some sort of cult down there. There's no way Microsoft is getting a fingerhold in that thing, is it? It's just they've just got it. They've got it. And what's interesting though here is that Nurse is a bit of an AFL fan, a bit of a Geelong fan, I believe, and I was looking into this Geelong team. It doesn't really interest me. It doesn't interest you, I can tell. Listeners, they've won one premiership in the whole time that Sony has offered trophy support. One premiership. I mean, I don't know. No wonder you're used to disappointments, as you will be later in the year when you fall short of this 1,500 plats. But it's something to consider, isn't it? Whew, wow. Okay, so anyway, let's get into the numbers here. 1,121 games played, so that just tells us she's loaded. Congratulations. 835 completed games. Well, that's a few. I mean, basically what that tells us, she doesn't waste too much time with 100% games. With only 961 plat, she's definitely, she's definitely focused on that. Why waste your time on 100% games? Waste of money. I mean, enjoyment? Come on. I'm not playing for 3 gold and a bronze. What is this garbage? Anyway, look at this. See, this is how you know she's a real gamer. 87.56% completion rate. Whoop-de-doo. Look, I'm staggered by these sort of numbers. I don't know. It looks like I don't even know how these numbers get this high. Are you mystified like me? I mean, what are these people playing? Just like these, easy 100% to finish games? I mean, that's what that number indicates, listeners. I mean, these people are not playing real tough games. They're playing easy to complete games. That's how their completion rate is so high. You get someone who's playing the field. They're playing everything. They're not going to have a high completion rate. Embrace your 20%, you sir, or you madam. You're 25% because you're the real gamer here. You're the one who's playing a bit of everything. These people playing their 100% games, starting things they can only finish. What is this garbage? See, but this is what I mean. This number doesn't even make sense. 87.56% completion, but 6,121 unearned trophies. And I know technically if you're good at maths, which Nurse you're not with the one hand, put it down, you're not going to be able to figure this out like that. 33, like 87, 33,000, blah, 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 blah. It probably does come out at 6,121, although who knows? Sly knows nobody on this site can do proper maths anyway, so he'd take the risk there and, put in whatever algorithm he can find at this point, I'm sure. But it it does seem like a high number. And before I even get into this profile, I'm concerned, nurse. I mean, 6,000 trophies you haven't earned, and you're a trophy god. What are you doing? That's a huge number. That is a crushing number. If I was there, I would feel oppressed by that number every single night. It would be drowning me. And I don't think I could ever make 1,500 plats, knowing in the back of my mind I have over 6,000. And it's well over 6,000. It's 6,121. I mean, look, if we updated this now, it'd probably be 6,122. The number is getting bigger. What are you doing about it? Look, I don't know, but you can feel that crushing sense that must be just slowly slipping its trophy fingers around your neck there as you struggle to breathe under the weight of that. Again, look, I don't know why that completion rate is so high, but who knows? It is not the strangest thing by any stretch that is occurring on this site at this point in time. 7.81 inches. Look, that's not a bad size. You could wrap your mouth around that, I suppose. Oh, sorry, trophies per day. That's the other web browser. I'll just close that. Sir, keep it in the pants. Yeah? G-rated show. G-rated. Thank you. Okay, so 7.81 trophies per day. Look, I have a feeling that's probably increasing at the moment. It's in an upward thrusting position because I think we're going to find garbage on this profile. But we will see. 8,015 views. That's a lot of views. I mean, look, I don't know how many times, Nurse checks out her own profile. I mean, that would be the question, wouldn't it? How many unique views has this had? I mean, there's no way to know. There's no way to know a lot of things on this site, but there's definitely no way to know that. I mean, really, it could have been, 8,000 and original views. And look, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, she's a Twitch superstar. Anything is possible. Look, the only thing we can say about this number is that, I don't expect it to go up while we do this video. I assume it will stay at 8,015 views. Her world ranking is a staggering 163. That's a massive ranking. Look, I don't know why it's so high for a high-level trophy. Anyone outside of the top 100 is not really valid and worthy of time, as everybody who plays knows. I mean, you're not looking up to anyone on the second page even these days. I mean, you're on the first page. You want to see who's playing on whose account. I mean, that's the excitement. That's where it's at, yeah? That's what you want to be seeing. Bit of digital sharing or something going on up there. It's sort of like a paint by numbers, if you like, or pin the tail on the donkey, pin the tail on the players who form a team. I mean, you can't go wrong. Just stab anywhere. You'll pick up a half dozen or the whole board, perhaps. So anyway, she's up 6 since last week. That is impressive because most of the people at this level are degenerates. They have nothing else to do. That's right, listeners. If you wonder how they have so many trophies, it's because, they're just life winners. They just do nothing but play PlayStation all day. Might film some risque, business on Twitch later on to pay for some things. But, other than that, they're just gaming away here on the Vita by the look too. Fascinating. Then we move on to this country rank. Now, I know you feel pressured here. I know you feel ashamed. I know you've dropped the ball, Nurse. Just a little inside information. Nurse used to be the top. Used to be. That's the predominant word there. Used to be the top-ranked trophy hunter in Australia. But it's all gone wrong for Nurse. I mean, there's many reasons. Could have been a drug addiction, cocaine, I don't know, maybe stepped out with Paris Hilton once too much. Who knows? There's a ton of reasons here. Taylor Swift addiction. I mean, any of these things are possible. But either way, she's dropped the ball. She's disgraced herself, and she has dropped down to 5th. Look, I think it was even worse than that. But, like most people in recovery, most gamers in recovery, she's riding the ship slowly before probably another tragic dive down to the 20s or 30s in Australia. But I mean, we're not a very competitive country either, so I hear most of the top level players are playing on everything there anyway. So I suppose it's, she's probably safe for now. I don't think she's content with that position. I'm sure she's coming for the second position, but I can't see that happening, not with the pressure of these unearned trophies around her neck at this point. But good luck to her. She's a premium member here. Again, that tells us that she's extremely cashed up and she's happy to flaunt it. She's also a lifetime premium member, so that means that this profile will be here forever. God help us, it will never ever go. Well, unless Sly gets done for tax evasion or something, because there's obviously so much money in the profile game, as we're seeing. She's got some hidden trophies here. One hidden trophy. So, I mean, why the fuck would you bother, eh? That's unique though, because see, I think that's what I'm getting a handle on Twitch. You have to distinguish yourself from the bunch on Twitch. Everybody's just playing the same bloody games with the same attitude. Wearing the same outfits or something, saying the same things, but you have to you have to make yourself unique, and that's what's happened here. Obviously, she's hidden one trophy. I mean, possibly the Vita trick went bad on her. Look, I don't know, but I'd say that's what it is, because I mean, why else are you hiding one trophy? So, Nurse, you probably realized at this time, like, I don't use a script. I know you had this lovely script and you had all this stuff, and it went for a total of 5 minutes. I'm not judging you, 5 minutes performance, it is what it is. There is medical help available. I'd say to Jax, that possibly time to consider, what it's going to be like when she gets 10 years older if she's only hanging for 5 minutes now, because, darling, I can assure you it does not get better, but... it's never too late to do something about it there, Nurse. Just get the... Well, look, I was going to say the snip, but, you can't do that. But I'm sure there's a generally evasive procedure that can, help you extend these reviews that you're doing beyond the 5 minute mark. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked here, listeners. We haven't even got into the games yet, which is really what you want to hear about, isn't it? From, a gamer like this. So... Look, where should we start? Look, I can't help but see my eyes drawn to all this Ratalaika garbage and East Asia stuff down here, But we shouldn't start there, because as I said, this profile does give you the illusion of a high-ranked, competitive, skillful gamer. It's all an illusion, obviously, as we can see by this Japanese stack of Tampos Campos, or whatever the hell this thing was. Red Death, Thy Sword, which masks itself as a skilled game, but at 77% you can tell that it's a fun game, but it's not a skill game, and these other things. But as I said, we're getting sidetracked. It's hard not to see this number as well and wonder, isn't it? Because you see this number, this 495 ultra rare, and then you see old mate Red Death here at 97%, and then you see the number at the top here, which is the 87.56%, and then you consider she's got 6,101 unearned trophies, and then you realize she's got 17,785 bronze, and you're just like, how does this number, this mistaken number, how does this even occur? And see, this is why I'm disappointed, Sly. I'm a premium member of your site too. I found some money on the ground. It seemed like a worthy investment at the time. I'm going to get my use of it, I can tell you, by logging in today. But the last time we did this, I asked for the orgasmic index to be put over here, because there's nothing here, as you can see, nothing at all. And this would be the beautiful spot for the orgasmic index. And of course, for those gamers that are not across this, it's a high value stat that we all enjoy. Basically, how you get this index is you take the completion percentage, you divide it by the number of views on the profile, you add in the bronze trophy here as well. Now, I've evolved it a little bit, Sly, here. You take off the country rank, and then you add this game here. It's important it's this game. I don't know why, but it is. It's the third last game played, and that will give you the orgasmic rating of this profile. Now, that is the cum shot of the numbers on here. That is the one that you want to be seeing. That's what would bump you up, Sly, from the $11 lifetime membership to the $11 a year subscription. That other nasty True Trophy site can get, because they've got this orgasmic index or something. So get this happening. Get this happening for next time. When this comes around again in a few months. But look, all that talk, and this number is still here. It hasn't changed. So we have to address this number. 495 ultra rare trophies. So what gamers do, why they get these, why they acquire these, is they need to make themselves feel empowered. It's a power play. It's all it's ever been, is a power play. It's to segregate themselves from the other trophy hunters. They don't want to be part of the general PlayStation community. They don't want to be part of the family. They don't want to be with us all here. They want to be above us. They want to oppress us. They want to take these 495 ultra rare and they want to squeeze us down, listeners. Can you feel them pushing us? They want to tax us because we don't have this number, and they want us to know it. And I know that you know this too, because they do this. Look at this. They put this up. Even Sly's been beaten down as well. The poor bastard, he's trying to run a site full of degenerate whingers here on fucking $7 a year or something. I don't know how he's doing it, especially without an orgasmic index, but he's trying. And he's been, berated and pushed down to put these rarest trophies at the top. Because this is what these sort of people do to you. They push you down. They don't lift you up. It's important to remember. So the next time you come on and you see someone with a whole lot of ultra rare, throw a rock at them. Do something. Yeah? Tell them I'm a person too. Every life matters. Even the person with, 0 ultra rare. If you have 0 ultra rare, that is a massive achievement, by the way, and I'm fully in support of your gaming decisions. So let's have a look here. We've got rarest trophies here. So look at this, 0.2%. This is my rifle. It's a bronze trophy, so it probably took 1,000 hours, as we've said before, of pressing the X button. Probably no skill required. Look, I mean, she might even have a turbo controller. Who knows? Either that, or it's probably some exploit or some glitch or some bullshit like that, And that's what they're using to push us down, But 0.2%, I mean, it's such a ridiculous number. I mean, why would you even bother? What's the point? I don't know. Then anyway, see, of course, so the second one in here, completionist, but that's a lie, as we can see by 87.56%. You're not a completionist, yet you've put this here. Path of Exile, see, it's a proper game too. But 0.56% platinum. Yeah, look, I don't know. Congratulations, I suppose. Well done. Probably 1,000 hours of boredom there. So this is a common thing where, this trophy, most likely, I'm not going to look into it because that requires clicking the mouse button, but most likely this whole list is probably like 99% easy, except for this one trophy, which, again, probably glitched or just bullshit or something. So if you get this trophy, you get the platinum. That's just how it works. They just give it to you pretty much because the others are so easy, and that's what's happened here. But you'll notice she doesn't list any of the other trophies from that game because, as I said, they're probably very, very easy. DC Universe Online. Look, I imagine that's a boosting game. Probably just did it with somebody else, not legit. So congratulations. You should feel good about that. Winner takes all. Yeah, you took it all from your boosting partner probably, but that's about all there. And Master of the Realm, Neverwinter. Well, look, 0.7, I don't know. I mean, why isn't it 0.2? Why just not have this? In fact, here's a valid question for a serious, ultra rare hunter. Why is 0.2 the lowest you have? I mean, why is your 0.000 trophy? I mean, come on. What's going on? There's a missed opportunity there. I'd like you to fix that. I imagine there's a lot of those sort of trophies in this unearned number here. Something to consider. Definitely something to consider as you feel that oppressive nature of this profile of this number, 6,121, pushing down on you. So next up, we're going to go to trophy milestones. Now, I can warn you now, this is a massive, massive profile filled with, as we can see here, Japanese garbage, which I'm not going to spend all my time on today, but we'll pull some stuff out, and we're just going to go down fast here, and then we'll see. Oh, see, look, it updated 3 hours and 10 minutes ago. So the next update in 2 hours. Next update is in 2 hours and 49 minutes, this providing Sony doesn't go down, highly possible, or this site just explodes, also highly possible. Of course, it'll be very important to come back, and look at this profile in 2 hours and 49 minutes. The only reason for that, of course, will be to push the number at the top here up, the 8,015 to 8,016. It'll make it a more valid profile. Won't help the completion. Well, won't help the completion rate, but will help the orgasmic index. So, her first trophy, Close Encounters, Super Stardust HD. See, one of the great things about doing no research before you do this is you don't know half the games. And look, I don't know anything about that. But I'd say, because it happened 12 years ago, probably wasn't that interested in trophies, just happened. And then, someone said, oh, shit, you're playing on Sony. They've only got one good game. It's Uncharted. you better play it. And so she did. Drake's Fortune platted that as well. Of course, pretty easy plat, I think. Probably anybody could do it. It's definitely not in the ultra rare cabinet, so it's, not valid. Infamous, see, so early on, just playing these were probably the only 3 games on PlayStation of value at this time, so this is solid pickups or whatever. 500th trophy. Trine. Well, that's a lovely game again, but probably carried. It's a co-op game, so it'd be interesting to know who your partner is for that one there. But well done, I suppose. Star Wars: Force Unleashed. I don't care. Star Wars is boring. Let's move on. Oh, look at this. It's the fuck you trophy number for this site here. 1,337th trophy. As we've said before, the only point of this is to fuck up your profile. It's one of the last laughs Sly has at gamers these days. He's he's broken down man. Again, because he's only getting $11 for a lifetime of taking somebody's shit. Basically, you can understand why he does nothing anymore on the site. He's just living on a beach somewhere, going fuck them. But his last laugh at everybody, of course, was this 1,337th trophy because it means nothing other than to mess up the order, which is wonderful. Assassin's Creed 2, yes, look, Ubisoft, fantastic. Assassin's Creed 2 again, the 20th plat. So look at that. I don't know why that is. That's oh, this is not a plat. This is just see. That's what he does. He fucks you up with that number, Sly. Well played, sir. Well played. I tip my digital hat to you. I'd buy you one, but for $11 you can buy your own. let's move up here. Ninja Gaiden. Well, look at this. I think this is a skilled game, so therefore I'm not going to talk about it or waste my time on it. There's a Final Fantasy. It's not surprising. A Dark Void. A Dante's Inferno. Massive action gamer. So again, this is just an egotistical wank fest. Probably didn't enjoy the game, but really liked the plat name. So I was like, well, I'm just going to do this, so that I can put it on my profile here for my 40th platinum. It's a wonderful picture, though, isn't it? Look at this, like a stick man with a gun. It's a yellow stick man with a gun as well. It's probably American. Probably going to shoot his own head off at some point. But anyway, let's move on. TikTok N7 Elite. Oh, look at that. Mass Effect 2. Well, look, I think that's one of the better ones. 50th plat. Took a long time to get to 50 for you here, nurse, didn't it? Yeah, the addiction mustn't have been too strong at this point. Anyway, that's interesting. Interesting. Damaged goods saw. Well, look, it wouldn't surprise me if you're damaged goods. I mean, you're bearing all on Twitch each night. It doesn't surprise me at all. It's interesting it took you so long to get it on your trophy card, I suppose. But, it's fantastically honest, at least. It's good to see some honesty in trophy hunters. A masked, look at this. That picture is terrifying. Well, look, the game is probably terrifying too, but that picture, I don't know what's going on there. I don't want to. Look, I don't know. I don't know about this. The first Avenger, Captain America, blah. Look, it's just overwhelming, isn't it? This is overwhelming. 5,000. There's too many things here, Sly. I don't care about any of this. It doesn't tell me anything, nothing. Ultimate Collection, Shadow Dancing. Well, it's not even, I don't even think this is it's the Sonic racing game. It's another quality game. Congratulations. It's interesting that for someone who loves AFL so much, you didn't get there to your 125th platinum AFL Live. Game was probably hugely broken. I'm surprised this is not an ultra rare because probably only 5 people bought it. Probably a few people from Collingwood bought it, but having no teeth, they may not have been able to express themselves at the counter at EB. The AFL, thank you. Yeah, poor bastards, no teeth. It's a tragedy for the Collingwood supporters. But it is what it is. I mean, you can't talk with Geelong here with your one premiership, in like the last 50 years or something. Well, look, I know it's not 50, but it must feel like that to you. It's a long time, isn't it? Sound Shapes, congratulations, fastest platinum. Just use the cheap, auto pop system. Just shows Trophy Hunter is beyond doing that sort of cheesiness. It doesn't matter what they pretend, what they say. If they're a real gamer or not, they still do it. Probably the more real gamer they do it more, I suppose. Look at that platinum for Batman Arkham City. Interesting. Done the Saints Row. Doesn't really surprise me, Saints Row, it's a great game, isn't it? It's anti-authoritarian, You can be like, fuck the government as I sit in my house, pay my taxes, and totally conform in every other way. So, it's not a surprise. I wonder if you did the Australian version, you wouldn't have got the dildo bat. But, look, there's a bit of irony in that, isn't it? I won't touch that because that could almost cross the line. Yeah, couldn't it? Pleasuring oneself with the dildo bat. I know you're a fan of collector's editions. We're getting close to the line here, aren't we? But I wonder if that would have interested you. But look, anyway, that's maybe a bit much. No, maybe not. There's a Call of Duty here. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. See, this is why I slow down here, because this is a bit, I know this game or whatever. It's a massive game. 400th plat it's as easy as fuck, this game. It's just about sitting 120 hours on your ass, basically pushing X and moving forward. That's all you have to do in the game. But, it is an epic cycle because it takes 120 something hours. So congratulations on that. That's a massive accomplishment. As you can tell, I'm excited that you managed to get that, and then you followed it up with The Walking Dead for your 20,000th. Unexpected guess. I mean, was it really unexpected by this point? But look, I don't know. Here comes the first spam title. So see, this is what I love about spam. It's clear to me you probably were a proper gamer at some point in your life, but you've abandoned that ship now, in the desperation to climb the boards again, and you've done it here a year ago with the pick of the bunch Pick-a-Pix color. Now, I'm sure if we asked you, you'd crap on like all the people that play these Pick-a-Pix games do and say, oh, you love the game, it's not for the trophies. Bullshit. But, it is what it is. It's a spam plat, and this is where it first appears on your profile. It's a bit of honesty, which is lovely. Follows it up with Days Gone, 1%er. It's 1%. 1%. You know, this is a funny name because even the devs here are just making fun of hardcore trophy hunters. You know, you are the 1% of who finished it, but of course they didn't factor in that there's so few good games on Sony these days that actually a lot more than 1% of people platted it because they had nothing else to play as they looked through the window at the Microsoft and PC crowd and were like, oh please, but you know, yeah, so it was a bit of a misjudge on everyone's part, 1%er. Elder God, Mortal Kombat 11, congratulations. All this tells me is you're pretty good at spamming buttons on the tutorials because the rest of the game plays itself. There is no achievement there. I don't mean to, you shouldn't feel dirty about it, you know. I mean, you've got the Will McCoy here. That's word Will. You should definitely not feel dirty about that. The Power Gear game. In fact, look at this. There's 2 Power Gear games in a row, barking up the wrong tree. Yeah, I like that. You know, again, that has connotations, but we won't touch that. Now, a bit of quality, look, you know, a bit of quality here. The Master, Black Desert, 750th plat. So good thing about Nurse is, you know, she's done this game once and almost finished it a second time, but when you ask her about this game, she's a little bit coy. Like she tells you some shit. She'll break off into this garbage about, you know, horse training, relationships and all this fishing, you know, but when you try and get the nuts and bolts out of it, she's pretty vague. Like she's like, yeah, you can AFK it maybe for a year or whatever, but you know, like a bit coy. So I think probably what's happened here is she's found a way to AFK the whole game, which is almost definitely what she's done because, you know, she just do that or whatever, and she doesn't want to tell anyone how she's done it. So it looks like she's a legit gamer by, you know, playing what is sort of like basically an MMO, I suppose, but you know, she's found a way to AFK. The funny thing is, she didn't use Final Fantasy 14 as a milestone, although I know she did it. I mean, just disgraceful. It did the base game, got the trophies, fucked it off, probably got a carry, probably didn't even do the Bahamut, you know, coil legit. It's not like I'm judging you, as you can tell. There's no judgment here that you cheesed the best part of the game and then you fucked it off before you even got into the real game. I mean, getting the plat in that is basically like opening the door to your house, you know, and wiping your feet on the welcome mat. I mean, you haven't even played the game. Getting the plat, it's like loading it up. I mean, the first 150 hours, you haven't even stepped inside the house. I mean, no wonder you haven't put it here. I'd be disgraced as well if I just did that. But Sekiro, so again, you know, you've shown you're a high-level button masher. You know, anything can be done with enough persistence and smashing the X button enough, I suppose. Knight and Plus, well, there you go, smashing the X button. Heavy Metal, Doom Eternal, Bayonetta, Maneater. That was fairly recent. Yeah, it's a bit ironic. I mean, you're setting me up here, aren't you, Maneater? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, the irony in this is off the charts. But, you know, we've got to draw a line somewhere, listeners. You know, I mean, when was the last time you ate the man out, I suppose? But anyway, let's move on. The Space Coco here. Which, look at this. I don't know. It's in Japanese. So, look, I don't think I know. Oh, this is this Task Force Campus garbage as well. So, look, you know, it's impressive. There's a lot of numbers here as usual. Slides, you know, you've done well. You've done well as well, Nurse. Look, I'm not impressed. I'm just passive, you know, receptive to the bullshit that I'm about to stumble on here, listeners. And we're going to stumble on this together, I think. And look, I mean, you've got to be looking at this now. I mean, the whole page, this Task Campos, Red Death, Thy Sword, Null Drifter, Eero Hero, Pity Pit, Fluxteria, probably the worst game of this year. And Pity Pit again, because, you know, if you're going to do the NA, you might as well do the EU, particularly if you're from Australia. That would make sense. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 garbage games all in a row, yet she will continue to define herself as the god tier trophy hunter, you know, on Twitch. And, you know, that just, I mean, I can't even lift my arm to move the screen down, listeners. I'm just stuck in shock at that. But, you know, I will for you, but it's impressive. Look, we're going to get sidetracked again. This is working again today. This thing up here. Isn't it wonderful? See, it just goes across. And what it shows us is 98.94, 98 or 97. Yeah, there's no ultra rares there at all, which is impressive. And she's advertising it up the top of her profile. It's lovely to see. It's lovely that this still works as well, Sly. It's good to see there's some things on here that are still working. So let's move down. I'm just going to pick a few games out here. Otherwise, you know, we could be here until Geelong win the next premiership. My teeth re-go. So we've talked Maneater a little bit, you know. It's a bit of a it's a bit of an irony, really, when you consider the situation. I suppose you'd have to see that as well. Maze, well, look, this profile is a little bit lost by the look of it. I don't surprise you for doing this. This is a lovely one, Payday 2 Crime Wave Edition. Look at this, a 0.30. So I suppose we can see this coming soon in this egotistical wankfest of a rarest trophies cabinet up the top here. I'm surprised it hasn't gone up there yet. That is perhaps because she was carried through the whole game, my understanding. So again, probably didn't push the controller. Probably pushed the controller forward once or twice. You got to make an effort these days when you're carried. You got to pretend you're not breaking the person's back, but it's impressive. It took her a month and 2 days, probably because she had to wait because, again, she didn't really know what she was doing, just needed the carry. The carry did come through for her, obviously. It's probably someone else from Melbourne because, as we said before, it seems like all the PlayStation gamers are there. It's not really surprising. I mean, PlayStation is the cheaper of the two consoles. Melbourne's a struggling socioeconomic area. It does make sense, or whatever else that you would find other gamers of this persuasion there. But this is a lot of regional stacks. This is quite interesting. I mean, you're definitely trying to make the 1500. I think it's ambitious. This is interesting. The first game you haven't finished, Evil Within 2, obviously too difficult for you. The problem with this game you're going to find, of course, is that it's not co-op, so you're going to have to play this yourself. Now, there is a disgusting cheat mode, God mode. I imagine you have that on, but you're still struggling. But that's acceptable. Don't give up. A bit of my advice to you. You can do this. You can do this, nurse. With that cheat code, the God mode in there, you can finish this game. I have faith. Well, look, I'm not sure you can, but there's a high possibility. Look at this, a platformer, Awesome P too. It's really not much to say about this game. It's just a barrel of fun, really, I think. Shadow Warriors 2, 4.36%. So again, this is obviously, it's just stopped. 5th of June. I mean, look, it's only the 12th of June. It's not abandoned. I mean, it's not over yet, but it's not looking good either. Look, there's more garbage here. What a surprise. Nightmares from the Deep 3, Davy Crockett. Look at this. Look, no, we will have a look at this. The Elder Scrolls Online. So, and we know that she cheesed Final Fantasy XIV, most likely cheesed Black Desert as well, just won't admit it, or how she did it. So here she's trying to rectify the situation by actually playing this game legit, which is interesting. I mean, it's not a lot of progress, but, what can you... Oh, Jesus. 4 years, 10 months, 4 weeks. Wow. That's not a lot of progress at all, then. You just get a trophy a year, do you, or something? This is like being married, isn't it? One night a year, you just go off, grab a trophy and pop off. Nice. Jax, it might be time to get out, let me tell you. But anyway, look at that, so it's fantastic. You've got a few trophies this year, so you've really extended yourself. That's fantastic to see. There's many more to come. Of course, the only trophy that matters in this game is the trophy where you have to manipulate other people to this thing here, the Emperor. This is a really great fuck you trophy from Bethesda, because they're like, it's a PC trophy on a PlayStation. You're going to need some serious help with this. Which look, I know you're not adverse to being carried. We've already seen that many times. Payday, Final Fantasy XIV on your profile, but this is perhaps going to be one of the bigger carries of your life, and I look forward to seeing how long that takes. I think this will be one of the blockers for 1500 as well, because it's going to take weeks and weeks. It's also got a stack of DLC. What I saw the other day on your Twitch, listeners, we're getting a little sidetracked because look at this. Fucking hell. Like, when does it end? How many DLC packs does your game need? This game's not even subscription anymore. Someone needs to tell Bethesda here that they're not going to make any more money by... Oh, well, look, I suppose they will. They'll get the people that, they just love to buy the horse armor, I suppose. I want a bit of horse armor. It's a bit ironic, isn't it? Years ago, the horse armor was dreadful. Oh, can't buy the horse armor, ripping me off. But now, horse armor, pay whatever you want. So it's funny. So I suppose they're making their money there, so therefore they'll just keep shitting these things out. It's highly possible by the numbers that these DLC packs are all the same. So few people have actually done them that no one actually realizes, but maybe it's all exactly the same dungeon. You just get them all at once, or you just keep doing the same one. Who knows? No one will ever know. I mean, well, at least 1,000 people might know, but nobody else is ever going to know, I suppose. By the look of it, you're never going to know either, nurse, I think, at this current pace. But anyway, I got distracted. What I found interesting is you're going to buy the collector's edition of, the next DLC, because, like at what are we up to here? At 16 DLC, they definitely need another one. 17's the magic number. And it's great to see you're going to blow all that money on probably a statue, some, fake coins, plastic coins, or whatever else, level boost, level boost, and all this sort of garbage or whatever you get, and you still have so much to go. I mean, many people would see that as fiscally irresponsible, I suppose. But if you don't know what the word fiscal means, then it's okay. You can get away with it, I believe. So I think that is tolerable and allowable. Now I'm just skimming down. It's just there's so much shit here for somebody that claims to be a legitimate gamer. I can't understand how you can justify blind men. Now this is it's a beautiful VN here. It's a story of 2 men and 2 women and a jewelry heist. How the hell did you take all that in 4 minutes and 5 seconds? I don't understand. I don't understand how you did that. It's too much. It's too much for me. Congratulations on Rune Lord. Looks like it may have glitched on you for the time as well, but So this is the joys you have with these sort of spammy games. Look at this. Oh, look, you got some more Elder Scrolls down here. Isn't it great? They've got so many DLC packs. They're like, we'll just separate one and we'll put it separately here. That'll mess you up. That's a real fuck you to any completionist, isn't it? Could you imagine if you had the perfect profile you're trying and then they did this to you? You'd be like, you'd neck yourself. It'd be almost enough for you to buy an Xbox, I think, and join the better half. But crazy, just crazy, I think. Look, I'm exhausted. Star Trek Online. See, look at this, 0.32%. So it's another skilled game by an unskilled gamer. It's difficult. You're in a difficult position here. Look, I feel for you. You're starting these games, and then you get trapped, 8% in, and you've abandoned it. I mean, the 15th of May. You're not coming back to that. Look at this, Farming Simulator 1 trophy of 24. I'm sure it has an interesting story. Probably got pissed one night, just turned on the console. Thought I'll be a farmer for a minute, and then, just didn't. I don't know why you would do that to yourself, but you have. I mean, I suppose it's the desperation of trying to get your number one spot back, because the self-disgust and loathing, because you've fallen so far down the boards that the pressure is just too much, I suppose. And then, look, it just goes on and on. I don't want to see any more games. I really don't. I'm not having a blissful time now. It does surprise me though, for someone with so much. I know I keep harking back to this, but I mean, this profile looks similar to mine, and yet you're so far down the boards in comparison. Oh, look at this. This thing always makes an appearance, doesn't it? 37%. There's nobody's finished this game. Nobody. I mean, we could click and find out, but I'm not going to do that. It requires effort. Nobody finishes this game at 2.1%. So it speaks volumes, doesn't it? Maybe there is no ending to the game. Who knows? I mean, they're going to sell 1 billion copies anyway. 3 people will find out. Lovely. So let's go up and have a look then at some of these stats. So what do we got here? Trophy log, that's not of interest. Trophy advisor, no, you're not going to tell me what to play, sir. Level history, look, I don't care. Compare, well, no, I'm not comparing it. Forum profile, let's do the stats, and then we might close out with a little forum profile. There may be something here that can save this profile to some degree. So PS4, look, that's where you do the majority of your gaming, 643. It's not surprising. A bit of Vita love, but not really. You're definitely not on the Vita island, which, look, I can respect as well. You're not part of the mole people race. Multi-platform, only 22. Look, I respect this because, multi-platform, we've talked of this before. It is the buy section of the console or whatever else. And it's you've made a firm decision the way you are. And, look, I respect that. More power to you. You're a PS4 lady, and I totally respect that. Multi-platform, huh? It always cracks me up. There's a leaderboard for that too. Those people still questioning. Not that there's anything wrong with questioning people. You can move between the Vita and the PS4, even the PS3 if it so gets you going. More power to you. So, this breakdown here, Ultra F495 or whatever, they're all mistakes. They could, probably all resulted through boosting, carrying, or just button mashing of some nature in a huge amount of time. Very rare common. The most interesting thing, though, is even though you have these, you still have a massive amount of common trophies, which in my eyes makes your profile very common. If you see here, 18 1,000. So well, let's have a look here. It's interesting, isn't it? This is what I was talking about. It's a very low number of platinums at 961. You can see, look how small the wedge is here for platinums. I mean, if you didn't put your glass on, you'd probably miss that completely. I mean, it's so small, Sly. You could just remove it completely. I mean, it's not worthy of time, as is typical with these sort of suspect profiles. There is suspect in quality, I should say. There's a huge amount of bronze trophies here, which is also part of the reason you're so far down the leaderboards. The lowest number here is gold. This number needs to be higher. It should really be over here. I mean, I don't know, the platinum number. It's so small, so small. Silver over here. Your average games. So look, I don't even know what this number means. We had this out last time, Sly. Why is this number higher than this number? Like 88.81 and 87.56. It just shows you that none of these numbers are really, that. They're not too close to the truth, I think, here. I think there's a bit of flexibility. I mean, 57.47. Maybe this is the real completion percentage. Who really knows? And this is why that orgasmic index at the start is so valid, and we need it here. 1,223,925 points. It's a lot of points, and they're worth absolutely nothing as well. So, enjoy them. Hold them close to you at night. Game ranks. S rank 835 for the platinums, or for completed games. Well, we've already talked about that. Look how small some of these things get in here. You can bet that Sly spent hours just trying to get the coding just right to get these little numbers in here. But it's beautiful. Great. It's a great job. It's amazing what you can do on $11 a lifetime. F games 5. I think that means you can't be fucked even trying them. So that's good that you only have 5 of them. 22 that you've given up on. 17 you've basically given up on. 17 C games you're not likely to come back to. 12 B games you're just waiting for someone to carry you through those ones. 213 A games. The person has carried you through, but now you've just got that last little bit to do yourself that you're having trouble with in the 835. As we said, are the games that you have managed to complete with aid, most likely. As we move through here, the monthly activity. This is quite interesting because you definitely sell yourself as a hardcore hunter now, but as you can see, listeners, the addiction hadn't crept in until about the 18th. It surges massively here, but not until here where it becomes very erect. It's very an erect rising of the trophies here. I wonder why it went down as well. I mean, Bliss, did you have a period of questioning? Perhaps were you just checking out the other side? Perhaps because this is not an image I suppose you would be used to seeing very often these days. But not that there's maybe that's what it was, because you've come back down here. You're happy with where you're at. Which look, I mean, we all question ourselves for a while. I understand. Again, this number is alarming for the fact that you are trying to move up the boards and you're in a rapidly descending position here, which is it's a lovely position to be in, I suppose. For you, but. It's of concern. We need this to go up at some point, well, I don't know if that's possible. The shit wedge, it's back again, which, I don't know what this actually means other than I think, as we said last time, I think it just indicates that the level of garbage on your profile up until the point where you spam out. And when it hits this spot, which here, nurse is very close to, this is where you spam out completely and it's game over. And this is where you start a new profile. And look, we didn't get into that today because this is, for my own knowledge, the only profile the nurse has at the moment. So you're very close to that. It looks like there might not even be room for the 1,500 plats. You might want to just give up now, but there's a little bit of wiggle room there. But again, look at this. It's all bronze. It really is a concern. This is what I'd like to see. You stop getting bronze. Can you just stop and focus on the gold trophies? Just skip the bronze. You don't need any more of them. You have enough. Anyways, we're coming towards the end here. Trophy time. So you can see she's pretty much a degenerate, in the morning here. This is a wonderful thing about I believe she's a professional Twitch streamer. So she just games all day. Professional Twitch streamer, huh? You put that on your tax return? It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? The tax department wouldn't be bothering up opening that return too often. I imagine there's not gonna provide the biscuits for the kitchen, but it's interesting to see most of the gaming here happens in the morning because these people with a lovely life, they can sleep during the day, which is what's happening here. 4 o'clock. There's almost no trophies happening here at all. This might be where the carry happens. The carrier just comes in and they just knock out a couple of trophies. I'm not sure, but peaks up again here 10 or 11 p.m. But look at that. It's it's like 5 a.m. I mean, who's hunting trophies at 5 a.m.? I don't know. I don't know, not me. Of course, it's a possibility that this is set to the wrong time. Again, there's no way of knowing that, listeners. And then, look, finally, trophies by day. So what I like here is if you can draw a straight line pretty much across here, like we can do, it just shows that the player is a total degenerate across all days, which is important because you could be a degenerate on some days, but if you're going to commit, you want to be all days, and that is what the nurse here is doing. In fact, it looks like every day she's scored more than 4,000 trophies, but no days more than 6,000 yet. I mean, it's a work in progress. It'll get there. So she equally, validly writes off every day doing the same thing, which is wonderful to see. Maybe a little bit less on Monday, just because, well, why not? But other than that, it's all the same. So look, I don't know. I thought this profile might be amusing, but really it's just sad because it's a pretentious profile. And as I said at the start, Contender or Pretender. And I've got to lean to Pretender. I've got to say here, I mean, we're being honest, being brutally honest here. But I don't see anything. I mean, as I said, it's all spam at the top here, which look, I'm all for. It's fantastic, but it is what it is. So what could I recommend? Well, look, I don't know. I think you should embrace the spam completely. I mean, I notice you have no Korean stacks here or Chinese stacks. I mean, you're so far gone now. Why not just add those as well? And what that'll do is it'll make, this hopefully gets smaller as this gets bigger, which is important, because this needs to disappear completely in my view, and it'll release you. I think you need to live with this burden. Unfortunately, I think you've let it get out of control. I don't think you'll ever rein that in anymore. I think you're going to have to live with this number as well. Your time in the sun it was probably wonderful, but it has gone. It's been retired with the PS3. I mean, the wonderful thing we live in now is they allow these sort of numbers to exist. I mean, back in the day, they're taken out to the park and shot them, perhaps, but it's valid that you can continue on, in your journey. And look, what I would suggest is that the saving grace for you here is to probably stop what you're doing if you're not going to go full spam, and just go Elder Scrolls full. Just for the next year or so, just Elder Scrolls, and really embrace that collector's edition, and enjoy the fun and manipulation of the Emperor trophy, the 700 hours of fishing that you're accustomed to with your other MMOs, or if you did it legit, and just embrace that and see what happens, I suppose. But yes, look, I don't know. I think that's my verdict here, Bliss. I think I'm going to have to, unfortunately, in my arrogant opinion, I'm going to have to deem you not a contender, but a pretender.